I am Secret MC Shaman, the OG Ginger, and this is Skyblock Island! Hello, everyone. Again, I am Secret MC Shaman, the OG Ginger, and this is Skyblock Island. Welcome back to day 10 of my 100-day Skyblock Island adventure. You can watch new episodes of my Skyblock Island challenge Monday through Friday here on YouTube, along with edited highlights and uploads from my live streams. If you'd like to watch me live, I'm streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. Check out the description below for more of that information. If you'd like to play this version of Skyblock, you can find it in Minecraft Marketplace as Skyblock Island, which I also have in the description, along with links to Twitch, Facebook, and my email for any questions. Last episode consisted of us trying to use a fishing rod as a means to obtain some different loot drops and worked a bit more on the house. This episode, I'd like to get a second floor and a roof on the house so we at least have a basic structure to live out of. Now, I've asked in the past episodes, as the viewers, do you prefer if I edit out the long, boring parts like mining cobblestone and logs? Do you want me to do a fast-forward montage edit so you're still seeing the entire process? Or should I do some of the mining outside of the video? This time around, I decided to do the last part of it. You can see there that I have cobblestone and logs loaded up into a couple different chests so that we can get some extra progress today. The other thing that I did off camera, because it was bugging me, was made an addition to the mob farm. I expanded it out one block, and then I put a little reservoir back there where all the items can come out. Still not 100% happy with it, and at some point, I think we are going to do a traditional mob spawner. That's either going to be from the bottom and causing them to go up and crash, or it's going to be one of the cloverleaf, quote-unquote, styles where they fall 28 blocks onto hoppers and fall into chests. But we'll see. We still need iron and some essentials before we get that far. At this point, I want to do some little creative touches and embellish the house a little bit before we get started on the roof. This little opening that I created on both sides, it looked kind of cool at the time, but it's not really functional. I can't put fence posts in it. I can't put trap doors around it. So we're just going to enclose this the best we can with half slabs. And then we'll get some fence posts in there as makeshift windows until we have enough sand to actually work with. We're going to need more than 6, but we'll make those for now. And let's see, we need those. We need a lot more sticks. There we go. There's some fence posts. We're going to need more half slabs too, but let's start with what we have for fencing. Is that enough room there? It's not. I'm going to have to take that out. put a half slab there. Make a handful of more half slabs to close that up. Okay, that works. We'll just do a 1x2 window setup. Get that closed. This we can do by 2x2 windows, so we have larger windows to look out of. And trust me, eventually we are going to get to the pillars that are out in the distance and some of those islands that I saw just a teaser of when I was out on some of the platforms. After our experience in episode 7 with the skeletons, no, I don't like that there. I want it recessed a little bit on both sides. Same with this. All right, we'll just close that off. I don't like it unbalanced. We're going to need some more fence posts. We got 4 there. A few more sticks. 18. That should give us enough to fill in all of the windows on the lower level. But yeah, after our experience with the skeletons, I'm a little bit more cautious now than I was before. I realize they can't come in through a window when there's nothing for them to spawn on outside. But if I do it now and I build something later outside of that and I totally forget, we're covered and we're safe. Let's get some logs. Get what we collected, and think we want to put, I want to put a log cross brace. I know it's expensive at this stage because of the fact that I could get 4 planks for 1 log. But just something a little bit less blah looking. You know what I mean? So I did look it up, and I talked about it in previous episodes, but the original Minecraft Pocket Edition was in fact only 1 chunk. Top, bottom, left, right, all around. So you had extremely limited resources, but you had to be creative with what you had. In addition, I had looked it up. The original console version was a 54 by 54 chunk area, but because the outside borders were surrounded by ocean, that actually brought it down to more like a 52 by 52 chunk area. Unlike PC, which was unlimited at the time. And I didn't have nearly as many biomes that we could explore. You still had the oaks, the birch, most of the basic woods that you could use. So you had some creativity there. You had your basic wool, but we didn't have the terracotta. We didn't have glazed terracotta. So you had to be creative with what was available And I think that was something that made it special. It really got your creative juices flowing, trying to figure out what you could do with minimal options available. And I know I talk about Stampy a lot, but that's because I watched a lot of his videos. But I remember, I can't remember if he was building his sky. I think he was building actually the top of his house area, and they hadn't incorporated corner stairs that would actually wrap around a corner. So, he had to figure it out the best he could. Didn't necessarily look the greatest, but it worked. And I think later on it just went around the corner on its own when the updates came out. All right, we're going to extend this out with half blocks here and on the other side. Good. Extend them out there. I think we'll extend it here as well, so that way when we put the roof on it, there's a little bit of an overhang. I think that'll look good. Let's get our cobblestone, because we're going to need stairs. I'd like to do something a little bit more texturized. A little bit more interesting. We'll start with, we're going to need more cobblestone stairs than we are wooden ones for what I have planned. We'll figure out where exactly we want to start these and how we want to start these. I'm going to use some torches as placeholders, because we're going to need to count these out. I need to figure out where center is. The goal is I want one row of wooden stairs for every 2 rows of cobblestone stairs for the roof. I think I placed that wrong. I don't want that there. Want it. I think I'm getting myself confused. That should be center right there. If we put a torch here, that gives 2 in the center there. Torch there. And that'll work out perfect. I forgot about it until now, but I don't know if you noticed it out of the corner of my eye. I made use of some of the string that had been part of the original chest, plus some of the string that we got from spiders, and made a bed so we can actually sleep through the night which would have come in handy with those skeletons. There's a lot of things that would have come in handy with those skeletons on episode 7. Alright, I want to alternate these until we get to the halfway mark. I think here is where I am going to do a quick montage until we get through the majority of the roof. Well, the majority of it is done. We're going to have a little bit longer than planned episode this time around. I had to switch from using my 360 controller over to the on-screen D-pad. If you happen to notice that, the batteries ended up dying mid-recording, so we're making do with what we have, which seems to be the theme of everything that I'm doing here. But I want to get this house up and finish a few other things. I want to keep the videos around 20 minutes, give or take, but it's taken us a while to get to this point. It's kind of a large structure, and I want to give us plenty of days to be able to get to the Nether and defeat the Ender Dragon. Only thing I'm doing right now is taking out some of these upside down stairs just because it looks nicer with that pattern having full blocks on the underside. One of the nice things about Pocket Edition is it feels like you get a much larger or a higher stretch trying to place and break things. Let's take advantage of that. And let's work on getting a third story to this. The height's nice. As a tall person, I do appreciate higher ceilings. Even in game, I usually try to have at least 3 blocks or 4 blocks high per level when I'm building a house. Otherwise, I just feel cramped. And I think we'll bring these stairs back about the same level or equal to what we already have. Make sure that looks right. Yep. Okay, put 2 more right here. Half slabs there, and now we can... Well, apparently I can place a half slab underneath accidentally again. No, that's not where that goes. That's the problem with Pocket Edition, is just because you think you're putting your thumb or your finger on something to place it doesn't mean you actually are. I got to get rid of those. I think we'll put a picture or something right there to take up the space. Something doesn't look right. There's something I don't like about this. Get some regular logs out, or regular planks. Kind of flesh this off a bit. Do the same to the other side. We can enclose that after we get up there. Get rid of the half slabs. Goodbye, half slabs. Thanks for playing. I am kind of a symmetry person. I do like things being equal on both sides. But I am going to try to work on something a little bit more asymmetrical in some builds. I've got some ideas coming up, especially for the pathways between the different islands. But for now, we'll sleep and get through the night. Get ourselves some kind of a, formal edging for the windows. We'll do the same to this side. Want to double check exactly how it looked so I could keep it the same over here. And we have more log planks. No, we're going to have to make some. I could probably make better use of going up these steps rather than trying to place them at a weird angle. I also don't like that there. Close that. Gonna have to get rid of that oddball just sitting right there. And just like that, we get it back. We're going to do the same step up on here that we did for the other one. That way we don't have any oogly booglies visiting us in the middle of the night from the third floor. The Weasleys might be okay with having a ghoul in their upstairs, but I do not want a ghoul in my upstairs. Didn't place that one where I wanted to, but that's okay. I can take it out later, or I can just fill the whole thing in and make it one flat surface. We'll decide that for a later date. For now, the goal is just to get the basic 3-floor structure in place. And then on a later episode, we can come through when we have more items to work with and decorate. 100 days seems like a long time, but it's really not. I'm going to have to change those stairs. I'm just realizing that they are off-center because of how I built the house. The one that's in line with the bed is actually the center, and the only other thing I can do is making 3 sets of stairs going up. But I don't like that either, because then it makes the upstairs completely unusable. For now, let's wrap up this episode. Thank you again for spending your valuable time with me on this adventure. If you're looking to support a content creator that isn't using AI algorithms and editing tools to manipulate you, and you'd like to reward hard work through painstakingly long editing processes, or just to simply show your support for my journey to learn new skills, please hit the like button to help me along on my journey to become a content creator. Then click the subscribe button so you won't miss future content when it comes out. From the deepest depths of my heart, I wish you and yours a good day, a good night, and all the wishes in the world. And as always, be good to each other. Bye!